Though seasons change and time passes by, memories of the past will stay. Some as scars which will make us cry, and some as blessings that came our way. For a time the worst must endure, and unbearable it may seem. Its final worth you can't know for sure, the future holds a narrow beam. We'd like to think we've done our best, in every instance perceived, and it all feels like one big test, but both our hearts still believed. And yet, a heart could only take so much before it loses its final touch. It's been 7 years since the summer I first met you, and yet it's only felt like 7 seconds. And every summer since then, there has always been something between us, except this one. And I've realized that a summer without you is like a day without sun. It's doable, but it all just seems a little less bright. And I remember a time where we couldn't go a day without talking to each other, and now that day has turned into months. Now these are some of the many memories that I hold dearest to me. Memories that it seems you have so quickly forgotten and replaced. One of the first memories I have of you is the night that me and my siblings went over your house to watch a movie with you and yours. I remember walking inside and you weren't there yet, and then you showed up from soccer practice and you ran upstairs to go take a shower because you thought you looked gross. And then you came back with still wet hair, and I remember the smell of your perfume and the bashfulness in your eyes, and that was the first time I began to fall for you. And I remember the time when you first broke up with me. I was in 8th grade and you were in 6th, and I remember you got your friend to do it. She texted me saying, "What would you do if she broke up with you?" And I remember not believing it at all and wondering why. And then I got on my bike and I just wanted to get away, and I rode all the way to ITC and got caught in a thunderstorm and sought refuge underneath a tractor trailer. I just kept asking God why over and over again. And then the rain finally stopped, and soaked to the bone, I made my way back home. The first official date I ever went on was with you. It was Free Movie Tuesday during the spring break of my senior year, and I went to your house at 6:30 in the evening to pick you up for our date. I remember not caring about what we saw as long as it was with you, but I remember it was Wrath of the Titans. I remember holding your hand the entire time, and looking back, I miss that so much. Afterwards, I remember you didn't want to go home right away, so we took the long scenic way home. And we wanted to spend some more time talking to each other, so we went to the high school and stopped in the back parking lot. And that is where we shared our first real kiss. That memory is so special to me, because it's a moment like that where you go in expecting nothing, but come out finding everything. Or the time we went to Schooley's Mountain the Saturday you came back from camp, and we walked around and hiked up to the overlook. And I remember the romper you wore and how you tried to navigate the trails in sandals. And then we went and took pictures by the bridge. That was one of my favorite days with you. But then what happened? Time slipped in and some things never changed. And over time it all seemed to deteriorate, and the bond that was once there began to fade. Things that I cared about you brushed off, and the things you cared about I overlooked. And then the problems began to start. The cycle of every day began with no variety and no change. And yet both of us wanted change so badly, but neither of us was willing to act upon it. The argument started, followed by the lack of trust or the doubt of commitment. And I've realized we are two completely different people in every way. And yet through it all there was still a connection there. And I believe that connection still is. Yet even that wasn't strong enough to make a difference or incite the change needed for it to work. It piled and piled up with feelings and thoughts both of us kept locked away deep inside. And the lack of communication ate away at the core of it all. And all of this occurred time after time until... You're probably asking yourself right now, why? What's the point of all this? And it's simply because I wanted to remember one last time before I had to forget and move on. And it's not that I'm stuck in the past, it's just that I value its worth more than you do. And I'd say that I love you more than anyone else does, but that would be a lie because I honestly wouldn't know that. But I do know this. The love I have for you is real. As real as the sun setting every day and the moon rising every night. Something not exactly tangible and something I can't really explain. It's something you go to bed thinking about every night and wake up remembering every morning. something you can't get off your mind or out of your heart, even if you tried. And though I may not be present in the foreground of your life anymore, I will always be in the background if ever a need should arise, because I have and always will love you.